I the asshole for gifting crypto to my sister. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Don't Go Broke Trying. I'm your host Reni, and today I have a very special guest. Hi Taneesha.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
We actually just wrapped up recording a previous episode, last week's episode. Hopefully you've watched it or listened to it. And we were talking about crypto, NFTs, investing, and all that jazz. So if you want to watch it or listen to it, please just, scroll in your podcast feed or your YouTube channel, whatever your app you're on. And yeah, it was a great episode and we learned a lot from Taneesha. Mm-hmm. Today we're going to be answering the questions that you have. And if you don't know, if you're new here, this is our coinfessions episode, and we essentially answer any questions that you have about a certain topic. So these ones will be all about investing, and we have Taneesha here to help me answer them as well. Yes. We want to preface that this is not financial advice. This is just our opinion, our take on the matter, but definitely not advice. And if you wanted to submit your question, you can email us at dgbt@renitheresource.com, and we will answer your question in a future episode. So, Taneesha, are you ready for this?
I am ready, and I hope you guys are ready too, because what time is it?
It is 2:47 a.m.
Yes. So we're ready.
Yes.
Yes.
And the reason the reason we're recording at this hour is because Taneesha's. Where do you live? Winnipeg.
Look, I live in Canada.
Yes.
I'm a global. I live in Canada.
And she was in Toronto for a few hours, and I was like, I need to take this opportunity to interview her. So that's why we're recording at this ridiculous hour of the morning.
I live in Winnipeg, guys.
Yeah. And do you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is Taneesha. Mm-hmm. I am a fintech content creator, so very similar, but also very different at the same time.
Yeah.
In our efforts. I work in crypto full time. I'm a Canadian girl, and yeah, I like to travel and talk a lot about investing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So follow her on her socials. I'll make sure
Yes.
to leave them in the show notes and in the description box on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So are you ready to get into it?
Let's get it.
Okay, first coinfession. How do I invest the $400K that I inherited? Initially, so this person inherited $400K. Initially, I have been thinking of building a DIY portfolio through couch potato method or through a robo-advisor. However, I have zero experience, and all the knowledge I have is from my own research and from books that I have read so far. Mm-hmm. I consulted a CFP whom I was expecting will help me plan my next steps on where to allocate funds and plan taxes and such, but all he did was refer/suggest me to his colleagues who can manage the funds on my behalf. And of course, sell me insurance since he is an insurance agent as well. My priorities are to max out my registered accounts, then put the rest in non-registered. My plan is to invest the money in 10 to 15 years and prep for retirement and reinvest any dividend or annual earnings. I have a medium risk tolerance. I'm mid-30s, and my only debt is my mortgage. Should I do the investing myself, or should I hire a portfolio manager and pay 1.5% for their service? It just feels like $400K as an initial investment for a beginner is a lot of pressure, hence seeking for advice. So, what are your thoughts on this? And okay, first of all, the reason I asked Taneesha this question is because you were in a similar situation. You didn't inherit $400K.
I didn't inherit $400K.
But you started making a lot of money when you were about 24 years old.
Yeah.
And then you were
younger than that.
Younger than that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were at six figures.
Mm-hmm.
And then your mom was like, you need someone to manage your money.
Mm.
So what do you suggest for this person?
So it's not all or nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This person got the funds all in,
mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean they have to invest it all in. So with regards to, I don't know if they mentioned anything about like portfolio diversification, but just like you would diversify your portfolio, you can also diversify your investment avenues. So you can have a portion of it, and maybe that's a majority of it, in a robo-advisor or wealth management firm until you get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Maybe you do 60% managed and the other 40% yourself. Mm-hmm. And you can, learn by doing that way. Because in the big scheme of things, yes, 1.5 on 400K is a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
But if you break that down and you're getting help, you're learning from, somebody who has studied this, has insurance, kind of knows the field a lot better than you do, it wasn't even ever even your money.
Yeah.
So pay that 1.5%.
Very true,
bro.
about the fact that it wasn't even their money.
Yeah, like you just got this one day.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're stressed about the 1.5.
Very true.
But if it was me, I would break it down. A lot of it maybe to a wealth firm, some of it to myself, or do it myself.
Yeah. And I think a key thing that I wanted to point out was that it's just I think there's nothing wrong with going to a wealth management firm, but this person, the CFP, doesn't seem like the right person for you. Like, they seem like they were kind of pressuring you, and they seem like they were forcing you to make a decision rather than kind of educating you and walking you through the process. So in my opinion, I would say this person probably isn't the CFP for you, but that doesn't mean that there are no wealth management firms that are for you.
Yeah. And I will add too that the wealthiest people have wealth managers.
Very true.
So you worrying about your 1.5% is not something that the wealthy are worrying about, because they know they need to hire good people around them to further them.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to be willing to pay the price.
Facts. It's like hiring a real estate agent. You could sell the house yourself. You could do all that work yourself and keep the extra commission for yourself.
Yeah.
But, like, is it actually worth it? What is your time worth? That's one question you have to ask.
Exactly.
Do you have the expertise to actually do this?
Exactly.
Like, so, of course, we both do self-directed anyways, and you also have some in managed. But we are big proponents of self-directed, but there's a balance. What do you value? Do you value your time?
Yeah.
Because learning how to invest is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
It is not.
Yeah. So, and as you said, you don't need to invest the full 400K at once. You keep it in wherever you have it. Keep it, and then you could say, okay, the first year I'm going to invest only 50K. Of course, your money probably, you would get a higher return investing it rather than keeping it in a high interest savings account. But if you're not comfortable investing it yet, don't feel pressured to invest it. You don't have to put the full 400K anywhere. Yeah. And I was also going to say, you don't have to pick individual stocks. If you're going to do the self-directed route, you don't have to pick individual stocks. You could instead go for index funds or index ETFs. Like, there are a lot of options for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And do they know what ETFs are?
Maybe we should tell them.
Right. So this thing right here, if it was open and hollow and we put our bottles into there, these bottles all represent individual companies. So we are basically buying this big bucket of stuff, right? Instead of each individual company.
I like that. Easy.
Easy.
Okay, next coinfession. Am I the asshole for being resentful at a friend who is succeeding off my investment advice and is making more than I am because he has more funds to invest? My buddy makes about twice as much as me, but I know the market better than him. Anyways, I've given him investment advice on short-term options plays that have been successful. He has more disposable income to put in these days, so he makes more than me on these trades that are my idea. I probably wouldn't normally be too bothered by this, except that simultaneously, my long-term portfolio has been hit hard by the drop in growth stock valuations. He's my friend, and I want him to do well, but I find myself growing some level of resentment, feeling as though I'm his free financial advisor, and he gets to profit off my work/research to a greater degree than I do because he has more money to invest. I've always wanted to see my friends do well, and I take pride in being a helpful, considerate friend, so I feel horribly guilty about this resentment. I don't want a cut or anything like that, but it would be nice if he paid for a dinner or two, or some extra drinks now and then, but asking that would be ridiculous and akin to asking for payment, and it would ruin the gesture itself. So I haven't confronted him, but I find myself growing angry that he hasn't made some type of meaningful gesture or gratitude other than saying thanks. This leaves me in a position where I either continue to be angry, find a way to raise my consciousness to a higher level where it doesn't bother me, or I mention it to him at that point, I feel like I'm asking for a gift, and the gift loses its value because I had to request it. I could stop asking I could stop giving him tips, but I don't want to punish him in a way that negatively impacts him financially. And if I did that, eventually he would ask what's up, and we'd be back in that situation where I'm basically asking for a gift. The point is, I feel like I've helped him out a lot, and it would just be nice to have it really acknowledged without having to demand it. So in that sense, I feel justified, but at the same time, he's just copying my moves. So if he's succeeding, then I'm succeeding. And it feels very wrong to be resentful about a friend succeeding. So am I the asshole for being resentful at a friend who is succeeding off my investment advice?
Yes, because you're only giving it to him. You can start a TikTok today. You don't need to show your voice. You can make this public. You can start a Discord or a Telegram group, have people sign up, and start sending these out publicly. Because when you start building a community, instead of giving it to just one person, then you're expanding your reach. And you need to do things for people without expecting anything in return for a long period of time with a high degree of focus. And that will pay off. So what I would say is, forget about the friend. The friend's got more money than you, deal with it, right? Of course, they're going to just have more returns. Even if it's the same percentage, they're just going to have more because they're starting with more. Expand your reach and your efforts, because that's going to start paying off for you dividends way more than you would ever expect. And don't expect anything in return. It'll come.
I feel like because he's speaking to two finance creators, we're kind of like, okay, like not, our followers don't pay us to give them like the tips that we give them about financial literacy at all. So you're definitely the asshole in this situation.
100%. Like,
in my opinion, you kind of sound like a hater towards him, as if like, okay, he's making more money than you, so you're upset that he's doing a bit better. But like, I don't know. In my opinion, no one's bag can stop yours, right? Like, there's enough money in this world for all of us. So I would just suggest, as Taneesha said, like, focus on yourself. Focus on if you want to build a community, helping people. But honestly, you don't seem like the kind of person that wants to genuinely help people, in my opinion.
That, I guess, I mean, that's fair too, but it's just like, why don't spend all your time on this one person then, and then be so concerned about that person, right? I don't know, maybe you should pat yourself on the back because your advice is working. What else were you expecting? Like, I don't know, chicken wings? I don't understand what. If you know the guy had more money, what else are you expecting?
I feel, and if you win, he wins. If you lose, he's also losing. Like, it's not like, I don't know, you're not his wealth manager or anything like that. If you want to be a wealth manager, since you're so good at it, you could you could go into that profession. But to me, it's giving hater vibes. It's
giving hater vibes. And look, I thought I had money until I met these crypto people in real life. These people got money.
You're like, damn, I don't have money.
They're like, what car should I buy? I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I've got a bike. Matter of fact, it's not even my bike. It's my mom's bike. And I don't even ride it, so I don't go anywhere. So, look, just stop being a hater and figure out how you can profit from this if that's really what you're looking for. And that can be indirectly through brand deals once you start your community.
Or get your money up, get your disposable income up, and be able to match his investing. Or another thing, you could also just communicate with him if this is truly how you feel. But honestly, he may just call you a hater after.
But genuinely, like, is he a good friend though for not even like being like, hey, let's go for drinks, or let me buy you some wings?
I think some people just are clueless. Like, like
that's fair. That's fair.
They're like, oh, I'm saying thank you. Like, that's enough. Like, I used to drive one of my friends like everywhere, and like I could be like, oh my gosh, gas. Like, it obviously would be nice to have gas money, but I never asked them. But I didn't say they're a horrible friend for not giving me gas money. They were so grateful for the ride, so maybe that's what they assumed with gratitude.
Right, okay.
I guess the thing is, we're just not all built the same. We're all different. So don't expect someone to read your mind. Like, if you truly think that he should take you out to dinner, which, he probably should. Then maybe communicate it with him.
Just like, how about that dinner on you? Like, you know?
Exactly. My dad tells me all the time, he's like, I taught you how to invest. You owe me a coffee. He literally tells me, like, you owe me a coffee today. You owe me this. You owe me that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sure.
Like,
why not?
Of course. I owe you my life, basically.
Literally,
so
I feel the same way.
Next coinfession. I'm renting and I want to get into home ownership. Any tips? So we're both homeowners, so that's why I got this one for you. This is actually one of my followers.
Nice.
Reni, congrats on the podcast. Thank you. I have the following question for consideration. Do you have any recommendations for an older person, 40, who is renting and looking for ways to get into home ownership? Let's say the person has no savings, small debt, less than 5K, and 50K in an RRSP. Where do I go from here?
What, just buy the place? Where else are you going from there? So, first of all...
And they're in Toronto.
They're in Toronto.
Yeah, I know this person. So, yeah, they're in Toronto.
By the way, I think it's worth considering is you don't need to be in the hottest spots. You don't need to be... Like, if you find a location that has the things you enjoy around it within close proximity, you can access, your circle... That place, if it's even just outside the city or in GTA, but maybe even a little bit outside that, but you can still train in sometimes, but it's significantly lower in cost price, and you're not looking to rent out, that's a perfect scenario. Yeah. And you won't dig massively into your retirement, for instance, because you won't be using that full 50K for the down payment. But I would say that's like super underrated, is just kind of stepping outside of the boundaries a little bit.
Definitely. And
getting your, perfect setup.
Yeah. I purchased my house in London, Ontario. It's about an hour and a half outside of Toronto, so not close by any means, but it was cheap in comparison to Toronto. So I was like, and you also purchased your house outside of the city as well.
15 minutes outside the city because it was $300,000 less than 15 minutes in.
Oh, wow.
For a newer place.
Wow.
Bigger place.
Wow.
I wasn't playing no games.
Yeah. So city life is, and that's only 15 minutes. Like that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
I have no car though, so.
Oh, so bike or
well, like Uber, I'm just never there.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, if you have your people around you, I think it's maybe a little different in the GTA.
Yeah.
And for everyone who doesn't know, GTA is Greater Toronto Area. It's a little different because even 15 minutes out of Toronto is hella expensive, but we do have like the GO train system and the Via Rail system that can allow you to get in. And most people have cars here, I will say. If you live outside Toronto, you kind of have to have a car. Yeah. So yeah, that would be one thing. Start looking into places outside of the GTA for a property. And you can also own a home without actually living there, if that's an option that you want to consider. So I own my home, but I don't live there because I honestly don't want to live in London. Never say never, but I don't really want to live in London because I like to be in a multicultural area. So if you want to get into this home ownership game, you can still rent in the city. Yeah, rent a place in the city and own your home and rent out that home to someone else. If home ownership is something that's super important to you.
Another thing you can do is, because you said they were like more mature age.
Yeah, 40 years old.
40 years old. If you're living alone, for instance, but you're able to buy a 2-bedroom, you can rent out the other room while you're living there. And maybe it's a student, an international student, that you bring in a consistent rental income for you every month, but they're paying down. You may not even be cash flowing from this, but they're paying down your mortgage for you, which is, very, very valuable in itself. And so it takes a lot of like the monthly burden off of you. Yeah. But I think like wanting to get into home ownership at any age is super exciting. And I would try and do it without trying to break my current bank.
Do you think that they have debt of 5K. Do you think they should pay off the debt? I guess it depends what kind of debt it is, right?
Yeah, it depends what I would say. It depends what kind of debt it is and how high the interest rate is on it. And then they'll take into consideration your debt to income ratio. Yeah. I don't even think they take into consideration how much savings you genuinely.
Yeah, I get.
I'm not sure though.
I don't remember.
But with an RSP, you could withdraw the funds for your home as well, tax free.
Yes, but remember that you have to pay back into your RSP over, I'm not sure how many years.
15.
Yeah, so make sure you have a plan in order to pay it back, right? Because are there penalties or something along those lines if you don't?
Likely, yeah. You'll get taxed for it.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think that would be our take on it.
Yeah.
Any other things to consider? No?
try and rent it somehow.
Yeah. Like if, as you said, if it's a 2-bedroom, is yours a 2-bedroom?
Yep.
Yeah. So you live in one and then someone else rents the other one.
My mom is there too.
Oh, okay. Okay. So she can manage it while you're traveling the world?
She's never there either.
Oh, okay.
She works in a different province.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. The idea is both of us will kind of leave there and it'll just be a full rental. And like I said, like the rental income is way higher than what I even will have to pay on a monthly for it.
So you're cash flowing positive.
Yeah, back in.
Nice. Nice. Okay, we have our last coinfession.
Yay.
Am I the asshole for gifting crypto to my sister? My sister is having some financial issues and her birthday came up recently, so I decided to surprise her a Ledger Nano X and I created a wallet and put $2,000 into it and gave her the seed phrase. Instead of being happy, she was upset and asked me what the F she needs crypto for and how to even use it. I feel disrespected because she didn't even put the effort in to learn how to use it and instead asked why I didn't just get her a real gift and how to use fake money. And I also hate the fact that she can just sell it instead of being a jerk if she doesn't like it. I feel like if someone gives you a gift, the only option is to happily accept it, even if you're pretending, instead of being mean about it. Am I the asshole here? I don't think most people would give a $2,000 gift, so I'm angry, but at the same time, I get it. Not many people understand this stuff, but her reaction was so messed up. So what do you think?
I'm genuinely also angry because I've encountered the same type of situation.
Okay.
I definitely did not gift my brother $2,000.
Yeah.
But I also bought him a ledger for his birthday.
Okay, wait. Can you explain what a ledger is?
Yes.
For everyone.
Yep. So with cryptocurrency, you have various types of wallets. And a ledger is a physical, say, hard drive or USB drive that you put your cryptos into because cryptos are digital assets. And once you kind of remove that ledger from your computer, from the network, it's offline. So it's kind of the most secure way of storing your crypto.
Unless you lose it.
Unless you lose that ledger or your seed phrase. But that can also be done online too. You can lose all that as well.
Oh, okay.
But a ledger is actually called cold storage.
Okay.
And Ledger is the brand.
Oh, okay.
So this is a cold storage method, cold wallet, and Ledger is the brand.
Okay. And you were saying you gifted your brother one?
I bought my brother a Ledger for his birthday. This was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, hey, did you get the Ledger? Yeah.
Was it just a ledger or you put...
Oh, he's grown. I didn't put money in there. I just got him the Ledger, but I got him the good one, like the Bluetooth one, right?
Okay.
So I was like, hey, but he's like 38.
Okay.
Doesn't give a shit anyway. So I'm like, yo, like, did you get the Ledger? He's like, yeah. How about those funds though? I was like, do you need help? Like, are you gonna open the envelope?
Yeah.
He didn't even open it. Like, I went to his house, he didn't even open the envelope.
Okay, that's rude.
It's rude,
Yeah,
right?
that's rude.
So I totally know how you feel. I just think her reaction was probably just like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
You probably could have just gotten me something that I associate with versus what you associate
Yeah.
with. Even though my brother also has 6 figures in crypto alone.
Oh, so he knew.
He needs a ledger.
He needs a ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think her reactions was more based on that was a gift that you pushed on her.
Yeah. I was going to say that he is the asshole because he's giving a gift that he wants instead of a gift that anybody else wants.
Yes.
Like, I think when you're immersed in like the finance space or the crypto space specifically, it's easy to think that everyone understands it and like everyone knows the value of it. But like, I could gift a stock to my best friend. She'd be like, okay, like what is this, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a nice gesture because I get it. It's actually a very extremely nice gesture, but the fact that she currently has pressing financial issues, and now she has to think of, what the hell? How do I turn this into real money, quote unquote? Yeah. I feel like it's just you're causing her more stress, to be very honest.
You're literally giving her a decentralized wallet that she has to keep track of a multiple word C phrase.
Yeah.
That she has no idea how to keep track of.
And then isn't she also gonna have to pay capital gains on if she sells it?
Well, she wouldn't have probably made anything.
Okay.
But so It's interesting because I actually haven't withdrawn any of my funds yet, but
Okay.
I believe the U.S. taxes quite differently than Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But effectively, they look at every single one of your transactions and then see the change in value and tax you based on 50% of your gains.
Okay.
But is this a cert? Like whoever, I don't even care. It's 2022, sorry. But also, where is she connecting that ledger to?
Yeah.
Did you figure all that out?
It seems like this is a gift I would like.
It's like a seriously complicated gift.
Yeah. It's like she would have to go and research to use your gift. Like, what kind of gift is that?
You've given her an offline bank. Like, let's put that into perspective.
And you've given her homework as well.
And homework.
Yeah.
And, like, funds she can't use, like, tomorrow. She needs to probably, like,
yeah. You honestly, the nicer thing to do would be just to have given her cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, I don't know, I would probably give her $1,800 in cash, $200 that you will guide her through the crypto journey.
Mm-hmm. That would be a much more thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's easy to think everyone understands what you understand, but no, they don't.
Yeah.
Put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
She's probably like, what is this?
100%.
Like, you're causing me stress. That's all.
100%. And if you're watching this, like, I can literally send you my wallet address, and I would love you to send me $2,000 in a cold wallet. I wouldn't decline it whatsoever because I know how to operate that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But she's an expert, right? She knows crypto. Even if you I would take it. I would take it.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
We'll YouTube that thing, like whatever.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the last question I had. Thank you so much for answering them.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to find you, where can they find you?
So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram at Taneesha.Greaves, as well as YouTube and Twitter at Taneesha Greaves.
Yeah, she's starting her big YouTube channel. So get ready to learn a lot from her. And make sure you follow her on TikTok especially because she posts every day and it's great informational content.
Yes. And it's the biggest community, so you'll get a lot of like-minded people that you can interact with. And, just start your financial journey. I think my name's Taneesha, and I make investing less intimidating.
Love it.
I generally try, yeah.
Love it. And everyone, if you want to send in your coinfession for a future episode, remember to email me at dgbt@renitheresource.com, and we will get those questions answered for you. So thank you so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
Bye.